My name's Hannah Jane. I'm going to be finding out where the TV, radio and newspapers get their news from and how they know when it's real news or fake, and then what they do with it. Then we'll look how you can put a news release together based on a real situation in exactly the same way as businesses and celebrities do. You may even get into the news yourselves. I've got two people here to help me. Peter, who puts news releases together, and Tet, who is a journalist, has loads of followers and has also been on the radio. So firstly, Peter, what are the main things we have to think about when writing a news release?
Okay, Hannah Jane, so there's two things that you've really got to think about. So the first one is finding something that's really, really interesting, something that your teachers and your parents would be interested to read, as well as yourself and your friends. Something that grabs you, right? It can be just about anything, but it's got to have that interest attached to it. So I found something on the Huffington Post online site here, and this was about a woman that woke up in bed next to a 3-foot python, and the headline on this was, "Woman makes shocking find in bed."
Whoa, a real snake?
And
really?
That's the point. So it's grabbed your attention, and that's what the journalists are looking for. So that's what I mean by interesting. You want to learn more about that. So it's got to be interesting. Then the second point is making it really easy for the journalist to understand. Writing it properly, writing it cleanly, and having a really good headline.
So Tet, you're actually on the radio. How do you pick out what you talk about?
Here's the thing, Hannah Jane. The one thing every journalist is short of is time. And we get loads of ideas to look at. And we've got to choose really rapidly which are the most interesting stories that we think our listeners and readers and viewers are going to want. I'm going to mention this word 3 times. First thing is the headline. Good headlines on news releases help attract our attention to stories that are going to be really interesting. Second thing is, when you set out a news release, if it's really clearly set out, it's so much easier for me as a journalist to craft a story based on the news release. Okay, and you only need think about 5 W's and 1 H. The 5 W's are who, what, where, when, and why. The 1 H is how. So basically, in the body of your press release or your news release, you need to tell us what's going to happen or what's being done, by who, where, when, why they did it, and how they did it. Now, if I've got that information, I can write a story about absolutely anything. Now, there's another thing we've got to think about. These days, you've all heard about fake news, haven't you? So before I publish anything, I need to make sure that the news is real and not fake. So to do that, you need to give me a contact, a person that I can ask further questions of. One other thing that's really useful is a website address. So if I have a contact person who can give me quotes and answer general questions about the story, and if I have a website that'll give me further background information, I can absolutely make sure that the news I'm putting out is real and not fake. So to tie it all down, the most important thing is that we have press releases or news releases which have interesting stories, and your headlines are going to attract our attention. The second thing is you've got to make sure that the information you're putting out is real news, not fake news. So you've got to give me contacts that I can check.
Thanks, Tet. So that's what this programme will be working on. How we create news stories and put together good press releases about them, what the difference is between real news and fake news, and what journalists do to pick up the stories and write about them. We'll even be taking you to a real radio and TV studio to watch.